We have been helping people grow online. It has been absolutely amazing. We have helped many content creators get from zero to monetization in under 30 days. We even have a couple of these superstars who did it in 1 or 2 weeks. If you want to learn how to do YouTube, I don't care your age, I don't care what skills or talents you have. Trust me, I can help you do it effortlessly. Just reach out to me with the word coach and we can get it done. One more thing. We have a YouTube course that I just now created. I'm extremely proud of, and a lot of people are getting so much from. Purchase that course and work with us. You can join our private Facebook group and our daily group calls, which is 3 to 5 days per week, and you can learn so much more than you've ever learned before. I can't wait to hear from you. Love you. Peace. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. You have reached On Point with Van and Mika. About to have a phenomenal conversation. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button as y'all pull up. That's the only price of admission for our live streams. And if you're feeling extra generous, consider sharing this video by hitting the share button below the video, copying the link, and sharing it on Reddit, LinkedIn, Facebook groups, X. And if you're watching from X, make sure that you repost this bad boy and tag me and Mika. All right, tag us so we can show you some love and we can add you as well. What's going on, Mika? You ready?
Let's go. Especially what's on the screen.
This is a new fan favorite right here. What's up, Shoemaker and Katrina? This is a new fan favorite right here. Inside of our coaching group earlier today. This video, it helped us out a lot. Huh? Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I know that. Take the bill, MJ, Wise. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. All right, so this video helped us out a lot. And so we had an amazing group call. So we got a lot of fun stuff to discuss today. A couple of those things will be how Donald J. Trump, our president, is deporting children with cancer.
And
we're
U.S. citizens at that.
U.S. citizens. And I want to play a video too that I came across of then I think he was a senator at that point, Barack Obama. He was running against Hillary Clinton to become the president, and his immigration policies. His immigration policies. Oh my gracious. I think Trump's immigration policies are light in comparison to his.
That's why he's the deporter in chief.
What you call him?
Deporter in chief.
Deporter? Did you say it with an accent? Deporter?
See.
So before we even start, I want to ask you a question. Have you seen how San Francisco has been looking lately? Let me give you a little quick look into San Francisco. This is absolutely wild. All right, so guys, look at this right here. This is obviously a Democrat-run city, and people think that Trump is not here to right the ship or to put us back in order. But San Francisco looks like pure trash, and I've always wanted to visit Cali. I never have. I never really wanted to visit San Francisco because it was known as a gay city. Is it still a gay city?
It definitely still is. But I used to know it when I was little because of Full House.
You said Full House? That was was that in San Francisco?
Yeah. Isn't that San Francisco with the Golden Gate Bridge and stuff, right?
I guess so. Don't listen. I pass no pop quiz when it comes to anything.
I only know California from TV.
So you've never touched, but you've been to Cali though.
Yes, I went once.
All right, I want to go to.
Was that? Oh, okay.
Yeah. I want to go to Compton. And I want to wear a blue hat and a red shirt.
So, what would you like your funeral box to be? We're gonna have to get it out there because you're not coming back. I'm just gonna do that now.
They so damn petty, man. I swear I don't like that. I swear that gets on my nerves. I don't get it. It's the culture that I don't understand, and I will end up my naive self will end up in a box messing around with them cats because I don't get it. I would wear red down a blue street and blue down a red street just to see what happened.
Yep, we'll hear about you.
Them, I'll tell them it's a prank if they try to kill me, though. All right. So let's check out some San Francisco guys. Hit that like button. Let's run it up. We're gonna have a good conversation today. Let's go. This drink looks amazing. Good Lord.
Cambió el comportamiento. No,
Good Lord. This is the worst right here. Ooh. What's wild is this video goes for another 2 minutes.
That's
another 2 minutes.
wild.
This is crazy, man. It's depressing. It's
What?
depressing.
I think California is beautiful, but what goes on there with those Democrats is no way. It's no way. No way. But
Yeah.
I told you I went to, when I did go that one time to LA, I went to go see the stars, the Hollywood stars.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And it was trash and all that sitting on the stars, gum, homeless people. I mean, it was all types of nonsense.
They done ruined the Hollywood stars?
Oh yeah, it's somebody that's in the chat. If you are from LA, what does that Hollywood star stroll look like? It was horrible. It was so bad. Like really bad.
This is nuts. You see the picture in 1915? It looks like a whole different country, a whole new, like, I don't know if this is true. This picture on the left, because it says San Francisco in 1915.
It don't even look like what LA looked like just 30
At
years
all.
ago. No, what I'm saying is LA don't look like LA. Like anywhere you go, right, in any state, there's usually some bad areas.
Right.
But like all of California, all the pictures that I'm seeing, it don't matter if it's Oakland, it don't, even the rich areas are starting to be affected. I was up in Beverly Hills.
Oh, Beverly Hills looks amazing, don't it?
No, it doesn't.
It don't? Oh my gosh.
It's because everything is everywhere. And this was like 2 years ago. So I'm pretty sure it's worse by now.
Yeah. And this video right here got a little baby walking by.
Look, somebody said it. Look in the chat. Not even Beverly Hills. What I say?
Not even Beverly Hills anymore.
It was
Jesus.
trash.
This is nasty, man. And look, the guy has got the heroin lean and everything, and the little baby is walking right by.
How do they do that? How do they do that? Now that is the matrix right there. Because I've always wondered how they be drunk and high and he never fall over.
I don't know either. That right there is that's something that you'll have to ask
That's
probably Neil deGrasse Tyson.
that they
You
and he
got
just
to,
right
because he wasn't the only one leaning. It was
there.
an
The camera the whole time was catching all those people leaning. That's
yeah.
because California do the needle thing. They give them the drugs. Well, the whole West Coast, because Seattle's like that too.
Let me guess. They do that so that they not share needles and get like AIDS and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they do it.
Mm-hmm. And then
Yeah.
they leave them out in the parks where children play.
Yeah, they just leave the damn needles, and you got this little kid just walking by, and
Yeah.
they're not right in the head. How you know that he's not faking and is not about to stab somebody with that needle and take what they have so that he can go get more drugs? You don't know if any of this is happening.
You remember Kevin Hart had a skit, I guess, on his one of his comedy tours, and he said California is so bad right now. He was like, and it's got so many. He calls them bums, right? So he's like, it's got so many bums. He was like, and when they get hungry and they want something, he said they just woke up. They just woke up. They see you eating, and they just put their hand on your sandwich, like.
I'm sorry, what? They just, hell nah, hell nah.
I swear to God, that's what he said. He was like, they just put a hand on his sandwich, like.
Nah, you just give it up because you're like, nah, man, we won't fight after that. And you don't want to hit nobody either because, like, okay.
He like, no, you got it. Mika, like you said, yeah, and I think California is very beautiful, but what I saw was trash. So I can only imagine if I was actually there for a long time, what else I would have saw.
Yeah, well, I'm not in a rush. I'm in a rush to go there no more, or to go most of these places because none of them really look the way that they used to look. Even New York, don't look the same way. DC don't look the same way. Like, I mean, there's some beautiful
But DC is still
spots.
very beautiful. Like,
There's some beautiful
I will
spots.
say this: that the popular parts they've been able to, you know, and
Oh,
even let's be clear, because I didn't go to Southeast. Southeast looks a little better now.
some parts look a little better now. I was go down Minnesota Avenue if you haven't already in a minute.
Minnesota.
Minnesota Avenue, off of Pennsylvania Avenue. Go down Minnesota Avenue, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Oh my gracious. That area, Pennsylvania Avenue, Minnesota Avenue, Southeast DC, down the street from Anacostia High School in Good Hope, that is now Martin Luther King, Marion Barry Avenue is what it's called now.
You talking about? Is that what a big chair is?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That area don't look the same anymore. Up the road, down by the Big Chair, it looks nice because they put newer restaurants over there. They have a God dang, I just now went to one of them restaurants. Thank you, Brown Eyes. Appreciate you. What's the name of that? Not Milk and Honey.
That's probably it, because milk and honey everywhere now.
Bus Boys and Poets. That's
Oh,
what it is. It's a Bus Boys and Poets right across from the Big Chair now. Because
why
I'm still
did
in
they do that?
Southeast DC, going to
Why
see
did they?
family and do things for people and whatnot. So yeah.
Why they
I
do
have a
that?
question for you, Mika. So Trump has gotten past his first 100 days in office. How you think he did? How would you grade him?
I will give Trump. I'll give Trump for 100 days. I'll say I'll give him about 80.
About
I'll
an
give him
80.
20. Uh-huh. I think he could crack down on other things. I think he needs to treat Pete like he treat Barron. Okay. Like you need to give him a stern talking to. I think Pete is really good, right? I enjoy what he does with the military and how they respect him, right? Because I always think it's great for young men to have that type of leadership. But Pete got to stay off the phone.
He
Yeah,
reckless, man. He
Pete got
reckless
to
with that
get
damn
off
phone.
the phone.
Like, bruh,
Pete got to
you
get off the
reckless.
phone.
I don't like that.
Pete got
All
to
right.
get off the phone.
So you're cool with how he's shaking and moving with with immigration,
Oh yeah, they gotta go.
but he's
And I guess people thought, since they named some Cuban people, they were like, oh, he's telling the Cubans they gotta go too. I'm like, they gotta go. If you here illegally, you gotta go.
if you're here legally, you gotta get the hell out.
Yeah.
Brown eyes. Beverly Hills is not that bad yet because they are going to protect the rich. The surrounding areas have gotten bad. Yeah, that's
When you start going up the hill a little bit to but I don't know like the actual place, but I know like you can see it's like a hill. And all these like little small houses that cost $5 million. Okay, I mean they're small. You go up there, it's nice. As soon as you come down that hill, all of it's trash.
they know what they're doing. They know what they're
So
doing.
they're trying to protect the people up on a hill, but it's
But you know that the hood eventually catches up.
that's why she said not yet. What was her word? Yet.
Yeah, because the hood usually catches up. It catches up
Soon as you get
eventually.
down that hill, you like, damn, it's different up there.
I give Trump about a 75.
Okay.
I give him about a 75. Yeah, yeah. That's
Why
only
you
because I'm still kind of I'm still getting the Democrat blood out of me. I'm just keeping it a buck. I mean, because I have no issue whenever I'm communicating with anybody that I know about Trump and knowing that I voted for him. I have no issue with anything that he's doing or how he's getting it done. And everyone will say that uh, that he's going around the regular systems that most presidents usually take, and they will say that that's criminal. But I don't. I think
okay?
if you're the executive of a
You get to talk to more liberal people. Tell me what do they deem that he does criminal? Because I know what the media says, but what do actual liberal people think?
with the
Because
liberal,
they don't like talking to me because I'll talk to them really nice, but then once I give them facts, they start yelling at me. So
they think that he's racist. they think that Trump is racist and he hate black people. They think that because he's not going through Congress and the Senate the way that they want him to, um, that he's doing everything illegally. They don't believe in executive orders. They believe that what was sold to them for the last 4 years, you got to get everybody involved. And if a judge says stop, even if you're the president, you have to stop. If the judge say do this, that, and the third, the president has to respond immediately and do exactly what they said. That's what they're saying. They really believe that he's a criminal. They really believe that he's trying to be a dictator. They really believe that everything that was in Project 2025 is true. They're really thinking about putting Obama back in office if
not
Trump
hell
can
auto
convince
pen.
people. Huh?
Somebody said hell auto pen.
Is that about is that the whole thing with him? He want to press charges against Biden. Well, all of the people that Biden have given pardons to, he want to bring them back and say those don't count because the president has to actually be there when he signs those pardons. But
Yeah,
he
he does.
wasn't.
He does. And if he wasn't, why wasn't he? So that means he was incapacitated. So that opens up a whole nother can of worms.
It does. It does. But then they're going to continue to change the story, change the narrative. So you
Well,
not have to have that
you know, that-
conversation.
you know, you know, the Biden administration people snitching right now. They all
Snitch
got
on,
these books coming out.
they
Okay.
snitch on each other.
Yeah. So did you see the White House what is it called? The press dinner
No,
correspondence?
what happened?
Okay, so they gave a guy from Axios.
Mhm.
Okay, they gave the Axios guy, the reporter, the award for reporting that Joe Biden something was wrong with Joe Biden after the debate.
Okay.
So they gave him an award for being honest about uh all presidencies. I'm like, but he was one of the people also before saying that it was a right-wing conspiracy. But once they couldn't deny it anymore, of course, because of the debate, then he was one of the first ones, if not the first one, to call Biden out about looking like something's wrong. I'm like, so you get to deny it, and then you get to change it when you no
When
longer you give yourself a award about it. It's just it's nuts.
Wow. Well, I hope that that's true though, because no, I don't. I don't really know. Because the way the politics is played, I don't believe that many of them are honorable. I don't believe that many of them are truthful. I really don't.
I believe I'll say this. I believe that Donald Trump is truthful. I think he lies when, of course, at a certain level, like let's say we got certain business stuff going on, right? And we can't tell the public certain things about it. Technically, omission is a lie, whatever. Right. So I think he omits certain things because of national security or because he's working on some type of deal and things like that. Right. So I don't think he doesn't lie, but I don't think the lies that he actually does are extra malicious.
Okay.
I think it's for a benefit, if you get what I mean.
I understand what you're saying. I think he omits. I don't really. I would say
Kelly honest.
He's honest-ish. I will say this.
Hey girl.
I think they all lie, but they play games. They do the lawyer lie. Like they say what they have to say and they leave out what they want to leave out in order for them to win the day. Like if they're trying to get something signed, they say what they have to say to support that.
I agree.
If they want to make the other side look bad, but they're also guilty of the same exact crime, all they would do is project that this side is doing it, that side is doing it, but they'll never admit that they actually do it unless they're called out by somebody, and you got to have hard facts in order for them to.
I think Trump does do that, right? Because he could have easily, remember when he had the debate with Hillary, he could have easily said, no, I don't. He said, yeah, because I'm smart.
He did. And I appreciate that. I appreciated that. He said, all of y'all doing it. All of us do it. Like we use the same tools. You use the same tools. All your rich friends use those.
Well, if you don't like it,
then change it.
Like you're gonna get me for following the law. Like it's the law. So I think he's I of course I don't think nobody is honest all the time, but I think he's probably the most honest politician that we've ever had, and that's because he's very transparent, even when you don't like what he's doing.
I agree, and as a man, I can get behind that.
Because there's things there's things I don't like about Donald Trump, right? Because I don't like everybody 100%, and then there's things that I think are great about Donald Trump. So I give it the 80-20. If I like majority of what you do, I'll support you.
I like that. I absolutely 80-20 for sure. I can do that. But I don't like how. Okay, I'm gonna let y'all know this. If you're a Democrat, right, and you just hate Trump, just say that rather than trying to act like he's so much worse than anybody else that's been the president, especially Biden, because they're trying to act as if his immigration policies is enough for them to lean into hating him for being the president that he is. Whereas they show, and you know this, they show Obama so much love and act like he's the next coming, like to Jesus. And his immigration policies were a little bit more aggressive.
When you tell them about the kids in the cages, they don't believe it. The kids in the cages came from Barack Obama, and Barack Obama even, and I keep it in my I have a little folder in my YouTube. When they asked Barack Obama about that, they actually had to go into the I forget what you call those facilities, but they were going into the facilities. The Border Patrol, Barack Obama said that only one reporter could come in. They could bring a camera. They could only shoot some things, and could be no audio. And that's still up on, yeah. I make sure I keep it in my folder because just in case it tries to disappear somewhere.
Okay.
That's still up on YouTube. Okay. That was Barack Obama. He did not want to let the reporters in. And they started to get he got sued by the ACLU tons of times, okay, for inhumane treatment. The same thing that, Trump is getting right now, right? So I'm like, if Trump is getting sued by the ACLU, that's why I asked old girl on the video, were you this vocal under Barack Obama? Because the same thing happened. They were laying in the streets in front of the White House every day. They used to put their arms in pipes and stuff. Okay, this is when he first got in office. Barack Obama didn't start to bend until he knew he was about to leave office. So he needed to do something for, a group of people. So the Democrats, because the Democrats, they depend on identity politics. So he had to do something. And that's when he came up with that DACA nonsense. That was the end of his presidencies. That wasn't the beginning or the middle because he didn't care. He said, you going back mañana.
Did you say mañana? Is that tomorrow?
Yeah, that's what he said. He said that on Telemundo, and everybody was pissed off. You remember Jorge didn't have a whole lot to say. Jorge from Telemundo, he didn't have a whole lot to say about Trump. He also, I will give him this, he was also in Barack Obama.
Hold on. You said he said it on Telemundo? Obama said it on Telemundo?
Type in Barack Obama says mañana, Telemundo.
How you spell mañana? Mañana?
Man, like a man.
Man and why yana?
Spell it like man, just spell it like man and Anna.
Anna. Okay.
Spell it like man and Anna.
Okay. Okay. Is this it? I think this is it. Obama is the one that went to the president of Mexico and changed the constitution to allow all of his people to travel through Mexico to come to America. It's all part of, I don't think that's the one. Is this the one where he says mañana?
He said he's going to send them back mañana. That's what he said.
Okay, I'm trying to see if I got the right ones because is this Telemundo? I don't know if this is Telemundo.
Let me see if I can pull it up. Because I'll be remembering all that stuff.
Hey, thank you so much, Brown Eyes. Appreciate you. Brown Eyes is pulling up. I think Trump says things to troll them. He knows they have meltdowns. Absolutely. Because they're weak. They some softies, man. That's another thing that made me start looking into Trump. I think I don't like to see men being all super emotional all the damn time. And that's all you see on the left. And then you realize the men are just acting like the women who actually run it, who actually run that party now. I don't think that party is being run by men. That's just me.
The Democratic Party?
Yeah.
No. And that's what I told you. It's definitely not ran by, it's ran by the 92% and the flamboyants.
The gays? Did you say, is that what you meant by the flamboyants?
Look, you asked me to be nicer. I am trying my best.
So, okay. So now is it one of these Jones right here where he said it? Because when he say mañana, me too. Is me too the mañana? Here's Obama telling them to vote in the election. Nope, that's not him.
No, this is like 2008.
Okay, so it would be happening.
2009.
Yeah, somebody would have.
He said they going back mañana.
Okay, let me say. Going back.
Yeah, he said when he said that, I was just like, oh my gosh.
Okay, I think this is it right here. Leaves. Nope, this is not it. This is from 2024. I'm gonna find this joint. I am going to find it. But until I do, I want y'all to see this video right here. So this video right here is actually Obama's immigration policy and what he's actually saying in this video when he's debating Hillary Clinton. He's saying that he wants to prosecute anyone who hires an illegal immigrant. And we already know about the cages. He started the cages. We already know that he was, what you call him, deporter in chief.
Deporter in chief.
Yeah, you cooked on that. He was definitely deporter in chief. And check this out, guys. I want y'all to share this portion. If you clip any part of this video, clip this part right here and share this with your Democrat friends, co-workers, family members that are just crazy as hell and mad at you for no damn reason because they just sad and weak and lonely and stank. They stank.
Administration, the Bush administration, has done nothing to control the problem that we have. We've had 5 million undocumented workers come over the borders since George Bush took office. It has become an extraordinary problem. And the reason the American people are concerned is because they are seeing their own economic position slip away. And oftentimes, employers are exploiting these undocumented workers. They're not paying the minimum wage. They're not observing worker safety laws. And so what we have to do is create a comprehensive solution to the problem. Now, I have already stated that as president, I will make sure that we finally have the kind of border security that we need. That's step number one. Step number two is to take on employers. Right now, an employer has more of a chance of getting hit by lightning than be prosecuted for hiring an undocumented worker. That has to change. They have to be held accountable.
Now, he said an employer has just as much chance as being struck down by lightning than being prosecuted for hiring an illegal immigrant. Why is that important? That's important because most Democrats believe that the illegal immigrants that he's talking about deserve to be over here taking advantage of whatever opportunities are given to them, that they shouldn't have to go back. As soon as they touch the base, they act like this is baseball. As soon as they cross the line and come over into our American soil, they believe that they are free and they don't have to go anywhere, because at that point they are claiming asylum. They always put that on every last one of them. They're claiming asylum, and that's a reason to never, ever, ever have to send them back. As a matter of fact, we need to create room as if they're guests and give them jobs and give them food and give them shelter and give them protection and all these other things. And if they were to commit a crime, we've seen in the last 4 years that they are not to be held accountable the same way as other American citizens are.
Barack Obama was very hard in the beginning. As a matter of fact, because of what happened with Clinton, Barack Obama decided that he was going to be hard because Bush didn't do anything about what Clinton did. So Clinton is the reason why immigration is so bad. Because before Clinton, I told you, before Clinton, you could come over here if you had, somebody that was here, and you can get a temporary status from them. They had to be a citizen, but you could get it if your brother was a citizen, your wife, somebody like that, right? And they still kind of do that with green cards, but it was like that for everybody. Bush did that IRA stuff. All right. He passed that because because Republicans at the time wanted to crack down on immigration. And so, back then, Democrats were a little more conservative. He decided that he was going to do that. However, he didn't put anything in place that would help the immigration. So it ended up being flooded. And so the immigration courts got backed up, all of that. So people just started saying, F it, I'm going to just come over here. And that's when you started to see a flood of immigrants coming over here, just no papers, no nothing, because it wasn't like a huge issue, but people were, coming. And so that was his attempt at being hard on crime, hard on this, hard on that, because the Democrats, remember, were also the ones that did the crime bill.
Right.
That was their attempt. That was their attempt to seem like the Republicans. We're going to be, hard about this, hard about that. But and like anything they do, they overdo it. And they overdid it. And when they overdid it, it It messed up the immigration system. Bush inherits it, and he just like, whatever. We got wars to fight.
I sometimes think W ain't give a damn.
No, he didn't. This was
Give a
Dick
damn.
Cheney's presidency. Okay. Dick Cheney was the only one awake. Bush was either drunk or playing golf. Okay.
He was chilling. I think he started enjoying his, because he was a salesman. He was a business guy. He was going door to door. I don't know if he sold vacuum cleaners or whatever the hell he was selling, but he was a business guy. Like he didn't. I don't even think he wanted to go down the family business. If you
no,
ask
actually,
me.
so it was supposed to be his brother. Okay, so his brother,
Jeb,
yeah, his brother, but they thought the father anyway thought it would be better for George to do it.
I think so too. I think Jeb was not strong enough to be president, in my opinion.
But George isn't strong academically.
Yeah, he's
so he needed. That's why he needed a strong vice president.
I like when he said, "Fool me once, shame on."
A fool me can't get food again. Oh no, that's facts.
He can't get food
I
again.
use that all the time. That is facts. That is facts.
I love when he said that.
That is nothing but facts. But yeah, but they used that presidency the same way they used Barack Obama's to be the sleeper cell, because George Bush wasn't really the person moving the needle. That was Dick Cheney. Dick Cheney did all that.
Well, shout out to Dick and shout out to Dick Cheney and his wild daughter, who has also got a pardon. And if they find out that the auto pen thing deletes everything, then she's going to be clank. Possibly.
I do not like his daughter. Not at
Why
all.
not? I don't know much about her. I just know that people say
she's
that
just like her dad. She's a war hawk.
Okay, so she want to see some fights. She want to see some
she's just like her dad. She's exactly like that man.
And she don't want to. She want to send everybody else's family in there, but she don't want to. Okay, yeah,
of course, but she's exactly like him.
That's because she.
Yeah, you gotta watch the I read the book, but you gotta watch the story about the Cheneys.
About the Cheneys? Didn't Dick Cheney shoot somebody in the face when they was out duck hunting or something like that? Probably not the face, but I think
so. I think he shot somebody while he was hunting, probably on purpose. That sound like him. That I'm telling you, that whole family is crazy.
Wow. Let me see here. Hold on one second. So, what do you think about Trump deporting a whole bunch of American babies? What do you think about that? Since you support Trump so much, how do you feel about him deporting babies, American citizens at that?
Here's what I think about that whole American citizen thing. Okay, I think people don't read the Constitution. Okay, now if I go to Mexico and have a baby, I'm just there on vacation, right? But I just happen to be pregnant, and I go into labor, and I have a baby. Is my baby Mexican?
No.
Okay.
It shouldn't be, right?
Right. But then it's also not Mexican. Let's just say because it's born in Mexico, they're willing to do it.
But, okay, then that's okay.
But the problem would be I'm not under the jurisdiction. Okay? So what they failed to do when they talk about the Constitution and it says people born here, it also says and, right? It says and under the jurisdiction.
Okay.
If the mama isn't under the jurisdiction of the United States, neither are you. If I don't belong to Mexico, neither do you.
So under the jurisdiction mean that you already have papers, you
I'm
already
a citizen or something naturalized here.
Okay.
So I'm subject, so if I go somewhere, the United States can bring me back. If I do this, you can call the United States. You can't call if this child does something, you can't call, who you gonna call? The mama is not under the jurisdiction.
I think you can get away. Now, this probably had nothing to do with you talking about, but I think you'll still pass as a little Mexican, though.
You know what?
Like,
Down in the Yucatan. But that is the whole entire reason. That's it. But they don't ever. Democrats always do that. They keep one side of the conversation. So when you look up the Constitution, if you were to ask AI right now to bring the part up about being a U.S. citizen, it will say and
jurisdiction,
right?
Okay.
And that's the reason why they deport people, because you're not under the jurisdiction of the United States. So I can't even hold you.
What protections do they give them? Because I know Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is one of their biggest, they can do no wrong. We're protecting them regardless. What protections do they have before they get jurisdiction? Because I've heard stories of people being here for 10 years, 15 years, like the guy who they called the Maryland man, who is actually the El Salvadorian man. He's been here for like 14 years.
It was actually the Guatemalan man, but I'm gonna let that slide, because his family, the family that he was talking about, that the gang was trying to get at,
yeah,
they're in Guatemala,
not El Salvador.
They're not in El Salvador. So apparently his mama and them had a little illegal food business going on, selling pupusas, and so what they were doing was, I guess, getting shook down by, this is his words, right?
The local
they get shook down by gang or whatever. Family moves. The family's in Guatemala. So at this point, the judge says that he can't be deported to Guatemala
because of the gangs.
The second judge that they go back to says El Salvador. The first judge put Guatemala.
But either way, both of them said, neither one of them said that he can stay his ass here.
No, but the man was lying. No, it just goes to show you he was lying. And under the law, you cannot ask for asylum afterwards, because when they asked him this the first time, with the Guatemala, they asked him about El Salvador, and he said he was fine, because the people, his family was in Guatemala. Oh man, it's like once you go down the rabbit hole and actually read all of the documents, you're like, why are the Democrats on this case? But they know people don't read, so.
See, I want to read it, but I don't know where to go to find the information. Plus, I guess I really don't want to read it, because I will just go find the information. It's the internet. You can find the information. But you gotta know what questions to ask in order to find that information. You know what questions to ask.
It's there. Bottom line is that man was to go back.
Well, he's going back. And guess what? So are all these American babies that your president, Donald J. Trump, is sending back. Marco Rubio actually talks about this. Brown eyes, you are something else. The babies are Americans. The babies can come back anytime.
I mean, unfortunately, they are considered Americans right now. So that's why it's stupid what the Democrats are saying about it.
All right, well, let's see what Marco has to say. And thank you again, Brown Eyes.
On the headline, that's a misleading headline. Okay, 3 U.S. citizens, ages 4, 7, and 2, were not deported. Their mothers, who are legally in this country, were deported. The children went with their mothers. If those children are U.S. citizens, they can come back into the United States if there's their father or someone here who wants to assume them. But ultimately, who was deported was their mothers who were here illegally. The children just went with their mothers. But it wasn't like you guys make it sound like ICE agents kicked down the door and grabbed the 2-year-old and threw him on an airplane. That's misleading. Yeah. That's just not true.
Just to be clear, because I do want to get to the overhaul at the State Department. Is it the U.S. policy to deport children, even U.S. citizens, with their families. And I hear what you're saying, without due process, just to be very clear there.
Well, no. Again, if someone's in this country unlawfully, illegally, that person gets deported. If that person is with a 2-year-old child or has a 2-year-old child and says, I want to take my child with me, well, then what? You have two choices. You can say, yes, of course you can take your child, whether they're a citizen or not, because it's your child. Or you can say, yes, you can go, but your child must stay behind. And then your headlines would read, U.S. holding hostage 2-year-old, 4-year-old, 7-year-old while mother deported. So the parents make that choice. I imagine those 3 U.S. citizen children have fathers here in the United States. Yeah. They can stay with their father. That's up to their family to decide where the children go. Children go with their parents. Parents decide where their children go. Right. The U.S. deported their mothers who were illegally in America.
Now, they're not, it seems like they don't care about them violating and not being legal citizens. It seems like what they care about most is that every I is dotted, every T is crossed. They keep on talking about due process. Due process. Does there have to be a court hearing before an illegal immigrant is deported, is what they're saying?
So it's an administrative process, right? So because we don't have jurisdiction over them, right? So it's not like they're going to jail. They're just getting processed. Right, they got processed when they came in, when they come into asylum. But you would get processed if you claimed, asylum, whatever. However, when you go out as well, they process you. That is it, right? It's not a whole thing like they're trying to make it like it would be for an American citizen.
Right.
This is just them keeping track of you, right? And so you will go in front of an immigration judge, right? You can ask to stay here, right? And they will say, what right do you have to stay here? Right? However, what they're trying to make it seem like is they have the same rights as a U.S. citizen, right? They would have that due process. They have the right. They have the right to, plead their case, but they don't have the right to stay. I can deport you, period.
Yeah, because you have no rights.
Yeah.
You have no rights
now,
here.
The United States has an immigration process. So that's what they're talking about. Immigration judges are just that. That's it. However, what they have been doing is using judges that are not under the Constitution, called district court judges. Those are not judges that are put in place by the people. Congress put those people there. So for somebody that's not of the Constitution, you can never make a statutory anything. You can never make a branch of anything that overrides the Constitution.
Not because it's your child, or you can say,
my bad. This bad boy keep on starting up.
And that's the problem with the Democrats. They're so used to doing it. You can't make anything that overrides the Constitution. So the district court judges, they have absolutely no right to stop the United States president from doing anything.
Yeah, so since that's the case, Democrats need to have a coconut smile and shut the hell up.
But they know this. They know most people don't know it. That's the problem. Most United States citizens don't know the United States Constitution. They have absolutely no idea what their rights are, which is why they, unfortunately, they willfully pay taxes that they're not supposed to be paying. They willfully give up information that they're not supposed to give up. They're talking about Elon looking at information when Barack Obama was the one that signed the NDA a long time ago. He been in your information. He was the one that repealed from having the United States use propaganda on its own people. That used to be illegal. Barack Obama decided, it's okay. We can use it on other countries and we can use it on our own people. And that's when you started to see the media turn a tide. Because they can now use the media as a propaganda arm, and it's legal.
As they have been. Wow.
Even the word legal comes from the Constitution. So it has to go by the Constitution in order for it to be legal or illegal. So the Constitution is where you get the whole immigration status. That's why if you come here and cross the border, you're illegal because the Constitution says so. But again, this is the thing. People don't know the Constitution. They only know what bald-headed Joy Reid told them.
You're gonna stop talking about bald-headed Joy Reid. She's
Oh my
so
God,
hell.
it's getting worse. She ought to stop putting that blonde in her head. She that eats up your hair.
Look, she didn't. Could you imagine? She was fired from her job a few months ago for putting black people first. Hold on, just hang there with me for putting black people first. So she was fired. Then what happens? Everybody started loving on her on that side. Everybody's loving on her. Don't feel bad. You don't need them. You're beautiful. You are blah, blah, blah. They call you this. Forget them. They're haters. And now she's really feeling herself. So if she was putting that blonde in her hair before, you about to really see blonde because she has that battery pack in her back again. She got that support. Like, she got that dog back in her.
When Joy wasn't deranged, Joy had a nice head of hair.
I remember. I mean, she always had a forehead, but we all do.
Right, but she had a hairline.
She did.
I got a forehead. I got a hairline. Okay, so
I got a 5 head.
But once she became deranged, down.
You know why she became deranged, right? Because them daggone paycheck increases was looking good for her spewing nothing but hate and propaganda. We already know what Rachel Maddow was paid to do her little long neck thing.
Rachel Maddow is like the Ellen of politics. Like she just got a show for no reason.
She does what the higher up say.
Why did Ellen have a show? I don't know. Why does Rachel Maddow have a show? I don't know.
Okay, I think
I keep telling people if Joy really wants to say racism, she should have complained about Rachel Maddow. Rachel Maddow has one of the lowest ratings ever, and she still got a job.
Well, she did lose a few million. You know, she was the highest paid.
And they made her kick up her time more. So she ends up getting more show. Like nobody's watching her. So if you really want to talk about white racism, you ought to be talking about your girl because she's still there with lower ratings than you had. Rachel Maddow hit like a low, and I do mean a low, and still had a job. So either Rachel Maddow got something on them or that DEI don't work the way Joy thought it worked.
Okay. You cooking. What don't you know about the government? You seem very well versed when it comes to this stuff. Like this is your thing. Like you're in your like this is your dance. Like
I don't know. I'm very
like, where them fans at? You probably don't know how to do that dance.
I'm just very interested. Like in I've always been interested in like politics and economics and science. This has always been my thing. I'm a bit of a nerd.
Okay. All right. Well, I got another story that I want your advice on. Well, I want your 2 pennies on. So a lady, and this is a random lady from Kansas City. Have you heard about the Kansas City fire department paramedic? So he picks up this lady. Her name is Shanetta Bossel. And apparently she was sick or she was in pain or something like that. And while she was in his care and he was trying to save her, she did the unthinkable. She ended up unaliving this man.
What?
Yeah. He tried to save her and he unalived her. Here's the you cannot make this stuff up. So here's the guy right here. Here's the gentleman right here. He's been what's his name? What's his name? Let me see. Graham Hoffman. His name is Graham Hoffman.
Wow.
Yeah, and this is the lady right here that he saved. And while in his care, this right here happened. Here's the story right here, and I know this is something that's real sad, but I have to play it because this right here goes into that mentality that we push as being okay. Like the Daniel, what's his name? Daniel Penny, is that his name?
Oh, the guy that had to
He choked
choke
somebody
the other
out on the
guy or
train.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, people keep on bringing him up when it comes to the Carmelo Anthony situation and the Austin Metcalf situation, and they're saying that the guy didn't put his hands on anybody, so he was no threat. But what they didn't consider was all the many times that he was arrested for violent crimes.
And when he punched like a 67-year-old woman. Yeah. Mental illness. Exactly.
Yeah, and if he hadn't done anything in that moment, that could have been somebody else's time to go. But this lady right here, she obviously went under the radar, and I want to show this to y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. Also, Brown Eyes, thank you so much for the super chat. I'm going to show that again when we're done. All right, let's go.
To that breaking news tonight, the Kansas City Fire Department is mourning the loss of one of their own. 29-year-old Graham Hoffman died hours after KCFD leaders say he was stabbed by a patient who he was helping. He had been with KCFD for about 3 years. It happened at around 1 this morning near North Oak Trafficway and Highway 152. KMBC 9's Darissa White is live tonight after hearing from officials. Darissa.
Yeah, well, we just saw that procession go by here. What we know so far is that around 1 a.m., a firefighter paramedic Graham Hoffman was critically injured while transporting a patient to St. Luke's Hospital. Now, during that transport, police say the patient stabbed firefighter Hoffman, leaving him with life-threatening injuries. His partner immediately called for help. Hoffman was rushed to North Kansas City Hospital, where, despite efforts, he did die from his injuries. Now, the mayor and battalion chief Michael Hopkins spoke about Graham before the procession. They're transporting his body to the medical examiner's office in KCK. Now, firefighter Hoffman was with the department he was 29 years old and had been with the department since 2022.
He was a joy for them. They looked up to him. They appreciated the things that he was doing. The same words kept getting said over and over: leader, on and off the job, compassionate, how much he loved the fire department, how much he loved serving the community. I heard his father and his brother both say today that he loved this job. He loved doing this work.
Now, for that suspect, we do know that she is a female and she is being held in police custody. We will get more details as they come. Reporting in North Kansas City, Darissa White, KMBC 9 News.
Yeah, for stuff like this, I put this on the same level as somebody inflicting pain or trying to unalive a woman or child. And I'll tell you why. It's because if someone comes to your rescue to help you, and your payment to them is to hurt them, stab them, kill them, that right there is a first-class ticket to hell, in my opinion.
And this is why I don't like the whole, send what do they say? Send a social worker.
Oh yeah, that's because of Democrat.
Send a social worker, you're gonna get her ass stabbed too. You're gonna get them stabbed. Send a social worker to do what? Absolutely nothing. Negotiators can't even get these people out sometimes. So it's just like they come up with the dumbest thing. Meanwhile, okay, just like the mayor of DC when she tried that, right? And the city council, the mayor has a police detail. City council, everybody, they can have the police sit outside their house. Meanwhile, the police don't even come to certain parts of the city on time. One, because they don't have enough officers, and then two, they know what y'all doing. It's like So they do all of these things that don't serve the community. They tell you about all of these things that don't serve the community. Meanwhile, they do the complete opposite, just like AOC is doing right now. All this Green New Deal stuff, but you flying around in a jet.
AOC sees an opportunity. I mean, I think she's a little she's believing that she's up next. She's believing that she can complete the job that what you call it, that Kamala could not complete. I think she believes she's up next. I think she's been told that too.
Oh, she's definitely up next because the nut jobs that are left in the Democratic Party like her. Okay, the liberals that are still voting for liberals, they like her. Her and Colonel Sanders say what they want to hear.
Yeah,
the problem is they don't believe it. Bernie Sanders a couple of years ago was saying, "Oh, you don't need to have so many houses." Meanwhile, he has 3.
You said he has 3?
Yeah, and that's the ones you know of. A couple of years ago, it was the millionaires. And now it's the billionaires. Yeah, because you're a multimillionaire.
Oh, yeah. He keep on going up every time.
Next thing you're going to be like, the trillionaires, Get the hell out of here.
Well, I mean, that's your boy. That's definitely your boy.
It's definitely not.
Nah,
I definitely don't like AOC.
He used to be, I used to like him, though. I'm be honest. I'm going to keep it a buck with you. I used to like him.
I'm sure you did. I don't hold nothing against you. You was a Democrat. I'm sure you did. You liked him. You liked Hillary, And they talk all this stuff about Pete Hegseth and probably going to get people, killed and all this other stuff. Hillary Clinton actually got people killed. Benghazi. Nobody answered the phone. She up here doing all that 3 a.m. stuff. Where was she at 3 a.m. with that?
Well, I don't want to speculate because I actually got a strike one time for speculating. It was the most foolish thing ever. It was ridiculous.
Well, it shouldn't be a strike because the report is already out. The Benghazi report. It's a whole report that Congress did. A bipartisan one at that. They let you say bipartisan. Yeah, they did a whole report. And actually, that's what the movie is based off of. Is based off the report.
For real?
That's why it was. That's why it was so accurate. They couldn't get in touch with the State Department. Nothing. And remember, she said, "What difference does it make?" Let Trump say something like that. What difference does it make? Oh my God, he's so insensitive.
I actually voted for Hillary.
I know you did.
No, I didn't. When she was running against Trump, I voted for Hillary.
Thank you, Eric. 13 hours.
Okay. That's okay. Because I used to be at work arguing for Hillary. I didn't know a damn thing about her. All I noticed is that she was a Democrat. And people would be like, "But what about Benghazi?"
I know you didn't argue that she was black now.
Oh, nah. Hell nah. I mean, honestly, when she was running up against Barack, I was kind of sort of beefing with her because I thought she was
because you knew that Hillary was a warmonger and you ain't really want her. But the Democrats will change their mind, just like they changed their mind with Kamala. Because they knew Kamala was trash. That's why they didn't vote for her the first time. She didn't even make it to Iowa. But all of a sudden, now she's the Jamaican queen when it comes time for to go up against Trump.
Yeah, what you know, man? What she say? No.
How you have no sense, man? What is she doing?
Yeah, like she was really trying to. She we supposed to believe it because your father is also not black, but
also not black, but still they're Chinese because a lot of Asians live in in Jamaica. there are Chinese people who have a Jamaican dialect, okay? Because they live in Jamaica. She don't have it. She ain't spent 1 hour there. And her daddy said that in his little op-ed. He didn't even like that she was using the ancestry. Because he said she was lying, and they made sure that they buried that little story.
Oh yeah, they did. And did you also notice that when we started making fun of her little saying, her Marxist saying that she was saying what can be unburdened by what has been?
Yes, because it's actually part of. Yep. Because people just thought she was
never said it
stupid.
again. She never said it again.
Because people caught on to it.
But that's some robotic stuff. She was obviously saying it everywhere she went. Every time she got in front of a microphone, she was saying it. We played videos that was 4 minutes long of her saying it about 40 something times. And she had on like 50 different pantsuits. So I know it wasn't the same times. All right. And I only noticed that because we was counting pantsuits during the live stream one time.
Them damn pantsuits, child. I could never.
Listen, she stopped saying it. You shared a video with me. What's this video about?
You see, it says Obama won't halt deportations for parents of kids brought to the U.S. illegally.
Okay, let's play this joint, man. And thank y'all so much for pulling up. And also, let me see. Eric Watson said, "Is water wet?" Is it? Because some people say it's not.
Time we spoke, you said that you weren't king, you were president. There were only certain things you could do unilaterally. As time goes on, 1,000 deportations on average a day.
Pause that. Pause that. Did you catch the beginning?
Okay, what'd he say?
What are they saying about, and I keep saying this to people, what are they saying about Trump right now? Oh, he thinks he's a king. The same thing was said about Barack Obama because he told Congress, I don't need y'all. I can do this myself. I could just go around you. He literally said that.
Oh, you know when we do it, ain't nothing wrong with it.
So
when they
listen to the first thing that this man right here says out his mouth.
Okay. What's this man's name? Why is he so insignificant in this story? That's unfortunate because he's the actual interviewer. Like he should be.
Because this was back in the days in the media. You know, you ain't care about their name. now you know it's Abby Phillips. Like, girl, you didn't. Please.
Abby Phillips. Emily Campagno.
Trash.
Emily Campagno, but she got on my nerves though, man. I seen her walking away in one of her videos shooting guns. I was like, like somebody beat her in her back with a book bag or something. It's like, okay, here we go.
Last time we spoke, you said that you weren't king, you were president. There were only certain things you could do unilaterally. As time goes on,
he said, I'm not the king. I'm just the president. There's only certain things I can do. Okay.
Laughingly.
Let's keep on rolling through. All right, let's see. He sounds a little familiar.
King, you were president. There are only certain things you could do unilaterally. As time goes on, 1,000 deportations on average a day. People are wondering, and our Twitter feeds and Facebook feeds, that's the question everybody asks.
He said, as time goes on, thousands of deportations a day.
People on Twitter, they got Twitter fingers. Okay.
Okay. All right.
People are wondering, and our Twitter feeds and Facebook feeds, that's the question everybody asks. Won't you at least consider unilaterally freezing deportations for the parents of deferred action kids?
Yeah. Here's the problem that I have, Jose, and I've said this consistently. My job in the executive branch is supposed to be to carry out the laws that are passed. Congress has said, here's the law when it comes to those who are undocumented, and they allocate a whole bunch of money for enforcement. And what I have been able to do is to make a legal argument that I think is absolutely right, which is that given the resources we have, we can't do everything that Congress has asked us to do. What we can do is then carve out the DREAM Act folks, saying young people who have basically grown up here are Americans that we should welcome. We're not going to have them operate under a cloud, under a shadow. But if we start broadening that, then essentially I would be ignoring the law in a way that I think would be very difficult to defend legally. So that's not an option. I do get a little worried that advocates of immigration reform start losing heart and immediately thinking, well, somehow there's an out here. If Congress doesn't act, we'll just have the president sign something and that'll take care of it. We won't have to worry about it. What I've said is that there's a path to get this done, and that's through Congress. And right now, everybody should be focused on making sure that that bill that's already passed out of the Senate hits the floor of the House of Representatives. It's not as if the votes are not there. Right. The votes are there. The only thing that's preventing it is, the Speaker Boehner's decided that he doesn't want to call it right now.
Okay. All right. So hold on. All right. Go ahead. Sister Soldier. I see you ready to break this down.
Oh, no. I was just glad he was pointing out the same things Donald Trump had pointed out.
Right.
It was the same thing. It was the same thing.
You know what I don't like about, when I wanted to learn how to speak and do like TED Talks and whatnot, and when I worked for DOD, I took Toastmasters. I went to Toastmasters classes, and then they taught us some things, right? But using and filler sounds and filler words is not considered a good thing when you're an orator. But when it comes to Obama, he does that a lot.
They allow it to pass because he's charismatic.
Damn that.
I'm just telling you why they do it. They allow it to pass because he's charismatic. I say this all the time. The man will argue to death because he's thinking, right? He's thinking before he speaks, which is fine.
Now,
anybody else would be stuttering.
It's fine to think before you speak. It's fine to speak slowly, like Will Smith, so that people understand every word that comes out of your mouth and they don't question anything. I get that. But sometimes it's like he's answering a question in somewhat of a riddle so that you not hold his feet to the fire on one point. I mean, because I see what he was saying, and he did pretty much say that if Congress is not going to move, it's going to get done, as he was doing for
that man. Straight up asked him, "Why don't you just halt the deportations?" Because he was deporting what Trump is doing right now. He was deporting the parents.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah.
Of American citizens. Barack Obama already did this. I always tell people, whatever Donald Trump is doing, all you got to do is just go look at the Democrats. I guarantee you can find it. That's why it's so hypocritical. Anytime they get upset about these judges, you can find when they want to impeach the judges. Okay, Ratchet Crocker was one of the people that even wanted to impeach the judge. She said it didn't go far enough. Okay, cool. All right. Then they said that with Donald Trump, you shouldn't be people shouldn't be mad because nobody's above the law. And this just shows, that even somebody at his stature can be held accountable and he can be taken to jail and da-da-da-da-da. Then they turn around and the same thing they said that they could do for him that you can't do to a federal judge that ain't nowhere near the president. So if this is a problem to perp walk a federal judge, y'all perp walk the sitting president.
Facts.
Like, it makes absolutely no sense. So no, the Democrats, they have to be some of the worst people because they don't stand on anything, whether I like their principles or not, right? If they stood on it and that's what it was across the board, okay, cool. I could respect it. They don't. And then they will sit there and look you in the face as if they didn't do this last week. They wanted them, and that was then. This is now. They wanted them people.
Well, you cooking. Listen. You putting on a master class. I appreciate it.
To answer your question, I'm sorry. You did ask me a question. To answer your question about Barack Obama, he does that because they taught him that. It's almost similar to when I think it was Ronald Reagan. He used to say, I don't recollect, instead of I don't remember or I don't know. It's verbal judo. It's a way to throw people off. It's a way to answer a question without answering the question. They do it on CNN all the time. They'll ask the person a question, make it seem like they're being fair to ask them a question, and then they never really answer the question, but they answered the question, and then they'll move on. But if it's Donald Trump, no, it's a yes or no. It's a yes or no. No, it's a, you know what I mean? I'm like,
yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah. Like, be clear. Tell us exactly what it is. Nah, nigga. Okay, well, I'm gonna answer your question, but you're still not gonna accept the answer. So kick rocks, kiss my ass, whatever you want to do. I don't give a damn.
That's why Donald Trump says what he says about the media, because that's exactly what he asked Obama a straight up question.
I'm sorry, he what?
He asked them a straight up question.
I knew you said that. I knew you said that.
What?
You said axe.
I say it.
The
Yeah.
same way I say it.
I say it with a T. It's very hard for me to say that word. I don't know why.
No, it's okay. You're one of us.
No, I have an accent.
No, I'm saying
whenever I say the word.
Whenever I say ask, I say axe.
No, only when I use the plural form.
The plural form.
I can say, yeah, ASK. It's when I have to use the D at the end.
Oh, when you're saying that he did it and it was in past.
Mm-hmm.
He axed.
That's when I get tongue tied.
So you say axed, but do you say ask?
I say with a T.
Ask. That's like the dumbest one. That's one of the dumbest words in American, in my opinion. In my opinion. I don't like it. I promise you I don't like it. I really don't.
I'd be like, oh, I speak a bunch of languages, whatever. You know what I said.
Absolutely. Hey guys, I don't know if y'all done this already, but hit that like button. Hit the
You did not hear no smoke detector from me. You a lie.
Y'all heard the smoke detector over there? I heard it
You
too.
a lie.
I knew I heard it.
You a lie.
I knew I heard it. You're gonna have to tell it, listen.
Y'all play too much.
You're gonna have to get y'all got some extra batteries over there, some for the smoke detector.
Oh Lord, no smoke detector for me. Exactly. Y'all play too much.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But you sharp though. You are sharp. And what y'all call her, Dolly Parton? Let me see.
Nah, them dreads putting Dolly Parton to shame.
This tig old bitty chick again. Yeah, y'all know who this
he
is.
He had that earlier. Van making the rounds with this.
T.O.B. Hold me down. Hold it down.
Oh my God.
T.O.B. You know what I mean?
That shirt holding on for dear life.
Yeah, she did an amazing job with her. I don't know if you heard the story before, but let me go ahead and play this since she's up so y'all can know exactly what she's reporting.
The Gates County Sheriff's Office, North Carolina State Highway Patrol, and the Hertford County Sheriff's Office are all responding. They're asking drivers to avoid Route 13 South and Barfield Road for now. We'll let you know when the road is clear again. The Gates County.
All the men.
What was that, Gates County that she said? Everybody is right now subscribing to Gates County News on YouTube. They're like, we got 100,000 subscribers. What happened?
Let me tell you something. She's gonna bring the boys. She's going.
She right
Is this
there
the
every
milkshake
day.
they was talking about?
Hey, Scotty.
Is this the milkshake that they was talking about? I promise you this, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Case County got all type of sponsorships now.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. She said words,
Her
right?
YouTube page is popping. She on all the thumbnails. They like, wait, this is the weather. Nah, she going on the thumbnail.
Oh Lord.
Oh my God.
All right. So y'all have been in a pro, so I'm gonna move on. Yeah, so I listen. I get a
I
little
said that. I said that to somebody. I said, I'm doing too much. I'm trying too hard. I need to go to Telemundo and go put on a dress
Telemundo.
and do the weather. That's what I need to be doing right now. I would make so much money.
Yeah,
That's it. That's all I'm doing is the weather.
just
Just go to that.
yeah. Do you know what you're talking about with the clouds and the radiuses and the pigmentations falling from the left and all that other
Not
stuff?
the
You know,
pigmentation.
that's that's weather speak. You don't know nothing about that. You'll learn.
That's skin speed. That is the skin, not pigmentation.
You'll learn something about it. You're not hip to it yet. You're not hip to it yet. It's all good. You'll
Oh my
figure it out.
God. But yeah,
Yeah.
I need to do the weather. That's what I need to do. So I ain't mad at her. Go ahead, girl. That shirt is just it. Her neck is the only thing that's keeping that shirt alive. I'm telling you right now, the strength of the stretch on that shirt.
Y'all are ridiculous. Y'all are ridiculous.
Mm. Mm.
She do have some really smooth skin though. I mean, she got beautiful buttery brown skin,
Mhm.
like Jasmine Crockett.
Don't you do that to that lady. Don't you do that to her. That is that lady's hair.
That is her hair.
Okay.
That is her hair.
And it's short, and she still don't have a bald head. Look at it. She has her edges.
Is that Abby Phillips? See, I'm not good at that. Is that Abby Phillips' hair, or is she wearing a weave? Do you
She
know?
wearing a weave. She got a sew in.
That's what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow. Okay.
But I will give her this. She at least tries to match the hair as close as that she can get it to, like if she was to straighten her hair. So it don't look bad. Abby's not a bad looking lady.
Oh no, she not. No, she
She
not.
just
And
she just deranged as hell. That's all.
fellas, if y'all have never seen Abby Phillips' back pockets,
Abby Phillips, we already had this conversation.
she
went
does.
through the
She
no,
most
she
certainly
does
does.
not.
She most certainly does.
We went through the Google page.
Welcome home. Yeah, she most certainly does. But let me see. Let me go back to this right here and see what else I can pull up, because Barack Obama is the man. He's the man with the plan. He can shoot a 3-point from both of his hands. He's left-handed too, and he can sing Marvin Gaye.
No, he could not.
He plays the
He learned one song. He learned one song.
He plays the saxophone.
He learned no, that's that other black president, y'all.
Bill Clinton. Right.
Y'all remember when y'all was calling him the black president, and then y'all got a half a black one, and y'all went, you out of here, you out of here. And
You outta here.
Bill Clinton couldn't understand. He was like, I thought I was at the cookout. He's like, nah, we got one closer.
Well, we was about to get it one even closer. So one that went to Howard University, worked at McDonald's, was raised to be black. What?
Who? Jesse Jackson.
Not Jussie.
Who? Al Sharpton.
Nah, Al Sharpton. He's that brother need to stop going to the gym. He just need to go ahead and eat and just stop going to the gym, bro.
That man withered away.
To all you haters out there, I wanted to read this right here. To all of you people who hate Shador Sanders because he's black. This is for all of you who hate Shador Sanders because he is black. President Trump, he was taken up for him this weekend when he fell to 5th round in the drafts, which I think is a sham. I think this whole thing is an act. I think they held out for ratings. And if you go and look at the ratings of past NFL drafts, you will see exactly what I'm talking about. And if you compare this year's NFL draft with this year's playoffs, you will see what I'm talking about. The drafts this year have been phenomenal as far as the numbers are concerned because of all the drama. And I think it was an entire setup. I know people don't because, listen, y'all don't think as far as me. You know what I mean? Some people don't see down the whole chessboard. I see the 4th and 5th play before I even play it. And as you can see, Donald J. Trump says, what is wrong with NFL owners? Are they stupid? Deion Sanders was a great college football player and was even greater in the NFL. He's also a very good coach, streetwise and smart. Therefore, Shador, his quarterback's son, has phenomenal genes and is all set for greatness. He should be picked immediately by a team that wants to win. Good luck, Shador, and say hello to your wonderful father. That's what I'm talking about. That's how you lead. That's how you do it. And guess who I did not see sharing this anywhere? The left. They're not going to share this right here at all.
No.
Not one bit.
No.
Yo, can I help you? Hold on 1 second. Huh? Oh, no, don't do that. I feel uncomfortable. Appreciate it though. But okay, so what you think about that?
What I've always thought, that Donald Trump is cool with all the old blacks, all the new blacks up until about 2016. Okay. What was Nene Leakes saying? I cashed Donald Trump checks. Mm-hmm.
I think somebody should have been talking about this, in my opinion, on the left especially.
Why would they do that? This goes against everything. He don't like black boys. Don't you know he put that ad out about the Central Park 5? Don't you know that?
He did, but he's supposed to be friends with all of the NFL owners. He's supposed to be friends with all of these racist NFL owners who don't want to pick anybody that's black. That's why they didn't pick Shador until the 144th pick, 44 being one of my favorite numbers.
Meanwhile, all the top quarterbacks is black, but okay.
Yeah. I think Trump did his big one with this one. I like that he did it.
Yeah,
what happened?
They just be I'm just saying the left be killing me, right? Like you'll see, it's almost like Brandon Johnson right now. Have you seen what Brandon Johnson has been saying?
Brandon Johnson, is that the one that pulled the alarm?
No, that's the congressman.
Okay, Brandon. Oh no, Chicago Brandon Johnson.
Yeah.
No, about Shador.
No, just black people in general. Like he's basically saying everything that's been happening in Chicago is pretty much Trump's fault. Okay, so he's saying that, and then you have I'm just telling you how the stupid ones were. Okay, then you had down in Georgia in South Fulton, I believe it's called. You had a BLM activist who was now a mayor with an all-black council talk about they racist because it's a black mayor in an all-black city. Like this is where we're at. Even when it's blackity black, it's still racist. You out here, he is like this mayor that I'm talking about is like the mayor Tiffany Henyard, a male Tiffany Henyard. Okay, he spends all the county's money. He goes on trips back to Africa because you gotta go back to Africa. He don't know where he from. Africa is technically a continent, but I digress. Um,
I think he's going back there so he can funnel his money through
l-
their economy that's building over there. I think he's going over there to make investments
What?
with the money that he gets from his constituents.
which country?
Huh?
Africa is a continent. Which country?
Whatever country he's visiting. If it's Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, don't know. Which one is he visiting? Because I
But that,
know I'm
but
only
that's
saying
what
that
but that's
because
what I'm saying. They always say this back to Africa stuff, right?
oh yeah.
But what Africa? What part?
I think most black
But you're
people came
right.
from
They funnel
Zimbabwe.
money. Hmm?
Zimbabwe. I think most black people came from Zimbabwe.
No, most of them came from West Africa.
Oh, Zimbabwe is in the east.
Most of the ones who are connected with slavery, because they don't like to talk about the people that's not connected with slavery, but I digress. Most of the ones that are from slavery, they're from West Africa because it was easier to just
Okay.
come across.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't know which side Zimbabwe is on. So I've just, it just sounds like a hood part of Africa. Zimbabwe.
Now Zimbabwe is well, it corrected itself.
It corrected itself.
Mhm.
Well, I also know that Brandon Johnson, he was trying to act like he was spending tens and thousands of dollars putting them into black businesses. So to get his hair done, to get his hair cut, he go to the black barber shop and he spend $1,000 at the shop. To get his suits, he go to a black tailor and spend $10,000 to get a suit. He was just funneling money because he was spending way more than he was supposed to at one stop for a haircut. You know what I mean? He was just, and he said that he was doing that. He was pouring money back into black businesses. But the thing is, it wasn't his money to pour. It was the voters' money. It was the people. It was the people's money.
And it didn't go to no black businesses, especially not in Chicago. There's no black businesses in Chicago that are like huge.
Well, you got black barbershops, you got black beauticians, you got black candy ladies,
You can find a black person anywhere doing anything.
you got black food trucks.
That's not like Chinatown is Chinese businesses. Okay.
I don't know, man. Whatever he's been doing,
You need a concentration of something in order for it to be that, right?
Right.
Like in Miami, you got you got La Havana, things like
Lil
that.
who?
Cali Ocho.
Cali
It-
who? You said Lil who and Cali what?
Little Havana,
Lil
Cali
Havana.
Ocho. It's basically an area that looks like La Habana. Looks like Havana. Cuba. Okay. So what I'm saying is it's a concentration of a bunch of people. So you can call that area that, okay? Little Haiti. All of those businesses over there are Haitian.
I got you. And it's just
Just because I walk in the store and you black.
I got you. You saying
Right.
and they have their own little areas like Chinatown.
Right. That will be pouring into that. Where you would go to this area and you see nothing but black people. You see nothing but black businesses. You see nothing but black employees. Like everything is black. That would be some type of growth there. You don't see that. They're not going, and they're not going to ever do it because there's nothing they don't. There's nothing for them to gain economically from that. They make a lot more money from black people spending.
That's the truth. That's the truth. Not from the money circulating in the community. Whatever.
That's why I don't
whatsoever.
understand why they're black people tend to be the main people. Well, not in Chicago no more, but outside of Chicago, black people tend to be the main people. Out there, outside of the white liberals. Oh, bring these people back. yada yada yada. I'm like, they would never do the same for you. They don't even do it in their country. Okay, when it happened in Mexico, Mexicans were like, send them back. Did you see that?
No.
Oh yeah, they were like, oh my God, the El Salvadorians and the Guatemalans, they come here, they leave trash in the street, they peeing everywhere, they got homeless camps set up. We send them back. We don't want them here. I said, oh really? Shocker.
Wow.
You know, but it was fine for Mexico to do that. But when it happened here, it's racist. So I'm like, everybody else can have standards, everybody else can protect itself, except for America. When America protects itself, it's racist. When everybody else protects itself, it's security.
Well, we're supposed to be, they look at us as the superpower that's supposed to defend them and and protect them and vote with our dollars with them, like continue to build up their GDP while they ruin ours.
That's okay. So what do you think about the Canadian elections that's going on?
The Canadian who?
Elections.
Now I was paying attention before, and I do believe that the Republican candidate, after forcing what's my man name Trudeau to step down, I believe that the Republicans were winning before. It was the conservatives were starting to get their mojo back, but I think the Democratic nominee is the one that's starting to really get all of the points now. I don't know a damn thing about it, and honestly, I don't care about Canada, to be honest with you. So yeah, there's my answer. I don't care about Canada.
I don't care
I
about
care
Canada
about the
either,
people
but
because
you see
God
how
created them, but I
they
don't care about them. What you say?
I don't care about Canada either, but you see how they're using that to,
Are they
say
black?
is Donald Trump when Donald Trump has nothing to do with.
Oh,
You never saw that? Like
no.
you haven't heard about that? Like they're
Mm-mm.
literally saying that the conservative party over there is losing because of Donald Trump.
Oh, because they got this whole Canada first thing going on. And they adopted that from Trump and separating everything from everybody. But I think the Democratic way of doing things is getting it back to. Nah, I don't know. I think I could. Sheesh, I just now looked at this story about Canada, and I think they was talking about the whole the Canada first thing, and they were
Mhm.
winning based off of that.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, and
now,
when he started to say, so this is what they're saying. When he started to say the whole thing about Canada being the 51st state and all this other stuff, that he united Canada under liberalism.
right,
But Canada's always been very liberal. And that they're saying that Donald Trump is messing up their economy. So what they're basically about to do is the liberals are going to destroy Canada and they're going to use Donald Trump's tariffs to say he destroyed Canada when technically liberal policies are destroying Canada.
well, you know what? Here's the thing, though, and that's what makes Canada so weak, and that's why they should be the 51st state, because if you can't properly run your country without blaming another world leader on your downfall, then
Mhm.
you don't deserve to be a country.
That's what he
Period.
said today.
Huh?
That's what he said today.
For real?
Yeah, I think it was on his True Social.
Yeah, I mean, but it's the truth though. If you say you want to stand on your own, then stand on your own. You want to cry and bitch and moan about our tariffs, whereas you were giving us way more tariffs than we were giving you. You were taking advantage of us for a long time, and we were protecting you. Please, if you want to do this on your own, feel free. But when you go out there and fail, that's on your own because you chose to separate. You chose to be difficult. You chose this. So it's on you. You can't blame us for that at all. I don't, that's some female dog stuff. in my opinion.
You will be surprised. You will be absolutely surprised. They're going to use that because their economy is going. Canada is, yeah, their economy is going to crash, and when it does, they will blame Donald Trump.
Well, shout out to Drake.
Instead of blaming liberalism, those high taxes, they're taxing the hell out their people. They're just doing so much, but they're going to use the people's emotions. Same thing they do here. And the people will fall for it. And then when it falls and it doesn't work and they're in debt, they will just blame it on Donald Trump.
As I believe we all should. We should all, whenever we come down to any type of problems in our life, I think it's a bet. I think that's a good bet. Everybody else is. Why not? Feel free. If you owe some bills and you're about to be kicked out of your house or you're about to get your car repoed, blame Trump. That's a good bet. Everybody else is.
Everybody. And I do mean everybody, because sure enough, when Brandon Johnson said, yeah, it's Trump's fault we got a deficit. I'm like, sir.
Yeah. Kick rocks in your socks, bro.
You had a deficit before Trump got elected. They gotta
blame somebody. And if your constituents believe whatever you say, then say it louder. They know when they got stupid people under them that that support them, that vote for them. They get it. They're gonna play them like a fiddle. They know exactly what they did to get the job. They're gonna continue doing that to keep the job, and that's lie and train their people to be delusional. It's ridiculous, man. That's why I really don't. These politicians who want to choke the hell out of them.
I don't know. I like, and that's the reason why I like Trump. Like, you're gonna have to, you need somebody to do politics. You're gonna need it on the world stage. You're gonna need this, that, and third. But Donald Trump is the only politician that's willing to tell you what's going on. You can like it or not, but he's willing to tell you. And then he had a whole cabinet meeting in front of everybody. I don't care if he told that much. That's never been done. Just so you can see how much is going on.
Shout out to Trump. Hey, everybody. Thank y'all so much for pulling up. We didn't clipped probably like 2 hours, which is good. I believe that is. I think so. Anyway, I think we did a great job today.
140, something like that.
140, 142. But I think this was dope. For all my blues that helped out, thank y'all so much. For everybody who submitted a super chat, specifically Brown Eyes, thank you so much, Brown Eyes, for being such a blessing. American Man wants to know what's wrong with the blacks. Will they make excuses? Obviously.
You know who he sounds like? I can't remember his name.
That's Jesse Lee Peterson. That's Jesse Lee Peterson. The blacks. Thank you, Brown Eyes. Obama was allowed phone tapping.
Yes. That's what I mean. Elon's gonna get your information. Child, that information already been there. Ever Snowden told you that. They already had your information.
Yeah. Trump, Obama did some things, man, and we give him so much passes. It's crazy. It's nuts.
Obama is the sleeper cell. That's all he is. That's why I give him so much smoke, because everything that you could not get through with no white man got through under Obama. Everything that people would have revolted for had George Bush did it, got through under Obama. George Bush was trying to do them 7 countries that he was supposed to do. Couldn't do it. You know who did it? Obama. You know who got to do the, what do you call it? Detaining citizens? Obama. No due process? Obama. Guantanamo Bay ain't closed there, is it? No, that's Obama. Oh yeah, I'm gonna close. I'm gonna stop torturing people. Sure. Not moi. That's not moi. Just so y'all know.
You got any more smoke for him?
You're not gonna accuse me.
Hey, y'all, thanks again, per usual, for a fun, amazing show. Y'all are absolutely dope. And I'll see you next time on the On Point with Van and Mika joint. Make sure y'all go to the link below inside the descriptions and follow the On Point channel if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that when we do go live over there on that channel, you will be notified and you will pull up and show some love. Thanks again for everything, guys. Y'all are absolutely phenomenal. See you on that side. Peace. We have been helping people grow online. It has been absolutely amazing. We have helped many content creators get from zero to monetization in under 30 days. We even have a couple of these superstars who did it in 1 or 2 weeks. If you want to learn how to do YouTube, I don't care your age, I don't care what skills or talents you have. Trust me, I can help you do it effortlessly. Just reach out to me with the word coach and we can get it done. One more thing. We have a YouTube course that I just now created. I'm extremely proud of, and a lot of people are getting so much from. Purchase that course and work with us. You can join our private Facebook group and our daily group calls, which is 3 to 5 days per week, and you can learn so much more than you've ever learned before. I can't wait to hear from you. Love you. Peace.